Good afternoon and good evening to you all. Welcome to the Hum Days edition of the Full 100, Wednesday's edition of the Full 100. It is Wednesday the 24th of March, and we've got an interesting, purely political edition today for you guys. Many of you are aware of the elections for the London Mayor elections coming up in May this year. And basically we've got, what I'm doing today is I'm bringing to you guys the choices that London has this year. We've got one who's a buffoon, who's Jeremy Corbyn's older brother or younger brother, I'm not even sure which he is. He's the joke of politics right now. Then you got the black racist in the shape of Sean Bailey, who supports Tommy Robinson and supports everything right wing. And then you got Sadiq Khan, who's the incumbent Mayor of London, who I'm urging everybody to just ignore those other two fools and make sure when you go out to vote that you vote for Sadiq Khan, because these other two are just a bunch of jokers. Guys, look, without further ado, let's delve into this show today, right? So look, I've got a couple of videos. Other than that of Sadiq Khan, I don't need to air a video of Sadiq Khan. He's been in the office for a very long time now, prior to Trump getting in power. So I think he's been in, 2015 or something like that? I can't even remember. But Sadiq Khan's a fairly stable, reliable, solid individual. And we've got these other two who are basically challenging for his position. So I'm going to air one little clip of how much of a joke Jeremy Corbyn's brother is, Piers Corbyn, who gets arrested every week. He's an anti-vaxxer. He looks dirty all the time. He looks like he's lost it, really, you know. So I'm going to air a video on him, and then I'm going to air 3 videos on Sean Bailey to show you the type of racist black man that he is. And then my final video is a Sean Bailey version in America. The only black senator in the Republican Party. So of all the 50 senators that the Republican Party have, they only have one black guy. And this black guy is as bad, if not worse, than Sean Bailey. They're cut from the same cloth. So, I mean, when we get to Tim Scott, the American senator, we'll discuss him. He's just such a waste of, you know, he needs to be lynched, really. If the right wing want to lynch somebody, they should lynch one of their own in the shape of Tim Scott, the black guy, the only black senator on the right wing party. So, guys, let me start with Piers Corbyn, who's the buffoon of UK politics. This is who he is, in case you guys haven't met him or don't know who he is. He's Jeremy Corbyn's brother. I'll give you a little insight on him, actually, before we show the video, so I don't have to discuss him afterwards. Basically, he got kicked out of the Labour Party back in the early 2000s before his brother was the leader of the party. And then he tried to run for office while his brother, under the Labour Party that was, council office or something he tried to run for, while his brother was the leader of the Labour Party, while Jeremy Corbyn was leader of the Labour Party. He tried to get back in and run for office, and his own brother wouldn't even let him in. So at the moment, he's running as an independent candidate, the joke of the bunch. So guys, take a look at who Piers Corbyn is, and then we'll move on to more serious people. Take a look.
From leaflet? Yeah, but collects bacteria.
Piers, before you go on, Wendell Daniel from Street Mike, how important was it for you to be out on the streets today handing out your leaflets?
Well, it's very important, because if we didn't come out today, that would effectively be our campaign would be crashed. Last weekend they arrested me, but they didn't charge, because they know they can't, unless they're going to impose some new law to prevent elections.
Welcome back, guys. Right, so now you've got him. He's out of the way. Now we go to the Conservative candidate, who's a black guy by the name of Sean Bailey. A despicable character. Despicable character. Like I said, I've got 3 videos on him. You know, Sean Bailey is a typical black person who joins a right-wing party. a bit like a black guy who would support Millwall. If you're going to support Millwall and you're black, you have to be racist to blacks too. When the white guys are doing monkey chants, you have to do monkey chants too. It's no different in politics. So here's Sean Bailey doing his version of a monkey chant. Yeah? Take a look at this.
Now, Saeeda Varsi, who's the former chair of the Conservative Party, she said that in the Conservatives, Islamophobia is very widespread. It exists from the grassroots all the way up to the top, but is being ignored by Tory leaders. Is she right?
I would say no. Do you find people as Islamophobic? I think it underplays the problem to just say it's in the Conservative Party. I think you're looking, population-wide. You could find pockets of that poor behaviour everywhere.
Welcome back. You see, the problem with black people when they join right-wing ideology, right-wing groups, right-wing nutcases, right-wing political parties, right-wing thinking football hooligans, whatever it is, the first thing they begin doing, is they start denying racism. Oh no, I don't see racism. Oh no, it doesn't exist. No, I don't know racism. Right? They deny racism, they deny Islamophobia, they deny all of the things that makes right-wing ideology despicable. That's the first thing they do. They deny. And you heard a little bit of it there. And it's also, how we say Black Lives Matter and the right wing began this All Lives Matter to try and dilute our pain? This is what they do. You hear Sean Bailey at the end of that clip saying, oh, well, it's not just in the Conservative Party, it's right across the board. They're asking you about your party. They're asking you, do you support an inquiry into Islamophobia in your political party? Oh no, it's not just in our political party, it's everywhere. That's the kind of black racist pig that is running for office. Now tell me, when that guy gets in, do you think he's going to do anything for black people, guys? Take a look at the second video on this guy, and I'll see you on the other side.
Saeeda Varsi's call for an inquiry into Islamophobia in the Tories. Do you support him?
No, not at this point. The coming up with the recommendations takes time. Just do it. Just get into it. To me, it's not rocket science.
That's the problem.
It's not rocket science. It's not rocket science. Do it.
But they're not. That's the problem. That's what Baroness Varsi keeps saying. She's been talking about this for 2.5 years and she's been ignored. That's why she's calling for an inquiry.
See, I wouldn't agree she's been ignored.
Do you still think that accommodating Muslims and Hindus robs Britain of its community and risks the country slipping into a crime-riddled cesspool?
There's a comment that I made earlier. First and foremost, that wasn't what I was talking about. What I was talking about is education.
I've got the comments in full, just so people know I'm not taking out of context. You bring your children to school and they've learned far more about Diwali than Christmas. I speak to the people who are from Brent and they've been having Muslim and Hindi days off. What it does is rob Britain of its community. Without our community, we slip into a crime-riddled cesspool. Do you stand by those comments?
Slick career politicians who've never spent 10 minutes dealing with anybody in any sort of tough situation always say things that sound nice and smooth. Was it the best language, Owen? Absolutely not. Was some people upset about it? And I'm very sorry for that.
I'm not actually after.
Sorry. I know you're not. But what I'm trying to get across to you, you're asking me, do I stand by those things? What I'm saying to you is those comments were made in a context, a very specific context. I
read the full context there. Do you agree with that? Is
what not now.
Welcome back, guys. You hear that? He doesn't even support an inquiry. Yeah? When they said, oh, the Baroness, what's her name, said she wasn't being listened. Oh, no, I don't believe she wasn't being listened to. That could have been any of the pure racist white Tory politicians saying that. So, pretty shocking when you hear that from a black person, knowing that we are not listened to. It's not news to him. He knows. We don't get listened to. He knows that. But he's going to deny, just as the right wing do. It's pure despicable, guys. Now, one last video on this idiot, Sean Bailey. Now, he comes from single mums. And I mean, this is the most despicable part of when black folk gain some entry into a right-wing establishment, a right-wing party. They're prepared to step all over their own upbringing. So take a look at this last video on him. which deals with single mums, what he said about his own community, forgetting he came from a single mum. Take a look, guys.
Okay, so for example, you said gals getting knocked up to get housing. It's a cottage industry where I come from.
We had a system that would reward you for making yourself vulnerable, and I was trying to challenge that system because that had repercussions for us for years. Because it's no, let's be clear, Owen. Yeah, remember, you're talking to someone who's the child of a single parent. I came from that environment, and I understood how hard it was for my mum, how my sister and other people were entering that process, and what was being said to them about it.
But that's a separate issue from this. What you were saying, a cottage industry, you're saying rampantly young girls are getting themselves intentionally pregnant in order to be awarded housing. Isn't that very, very degrading indeed?
No, I think it was sharp. It was hard. It was raw.
And
it
you
was
agree
where
with
I was.
it?
It was where I was.
But do you agree with that? It was your opinion.
It was where I was. I was stating for us what was a fact.
But do you still
it was
believe,
the only way.
do you still believe it's
it was
true?
the only way we would get housed.
I mean, you once said that ending domestic violence starts with girls. If you could get girls to accept less of men's rubbish, then men would have to change because ultimately men are after a girl. Surely that's shifting responsibility for men's actions onto their victims, and it's men who need to change. So do you regret those comments? Because that
No,
does suggest,
I tell you why. So there's two things. You're completely right. It's a man's issue. But it's about safety as well. It's about also making sure that you take every step to make yourself safe. It starts and ends with men, yes,
So
particularly
you
boys.
do think it doesn't start with girls, does it? We're very clear about that.
Yeah.
Ending male violence doesn't start with girls.
Yes.
So you would withdraw that comment?
I mean, that guy could have been a UKIP. That could have been Nigel Farage speaking. That could have been any one of those Republican Party people in America speaking. That could have been any one of the Tories speaking, right? Including Priti Patel, who is like him, you know, racist, ethnic person, you know, they cut from the same cloth, right? That could have been any one of them speaking. It's despicable. I mean, can I show you who else this Sean Bailey supports? You're going to be shocked. Take a look at this photo, this newspaper clipping. Guys, you couldn't make it up. So, voting for Sean Bailey, you might as well be voting for Hitler. You heard it here first. So we're done with those people. Like I said, there's no video on Sadiq Khan. His record speaks for itself. I don't need to show anything on him. Let the guy stay in his job. The guy is a genuine fighter for all Londoners. So now we're going to finish on my last video, which is Tim Scott. Tim Scott used a phrase that really just shocked the black world. Many of you have heard of black people are now woke. Yeah, it's like a black saying in America, woken, we would say. After George Floyd, people woke up. This guy coins a terminology because obviously the FBI and Biden's government for a change. Yeah, they're putting the state's resources behind clamping down on white supremacy. This guy, just like they go with all lives matter and blue lives as in cops, blue lives matter because we want black lives to matter and we got a reason for that. This guy comes up with woke supremacists, meaning there's black people who are now angry seeing what happened to George Floyd. They are now supremacists. It's unbelievable. Listen to how Don Lemon deals with this guy on his show. Take a look. This is going to really pee you off. Take a look, guys.
And then there's Tim Scott. Tim Scott is the only black Republican in the Senate, telling Fox News, of course Fox News, that what he calls woke supremacy is as bad as white supremacy.
Woke supremacy is as bad as white supremacy.
Do you want to explain who these woke supremacists are? I've never seen a woke supremacist lynching anybody. Never saw a woke supremacist denying anybody access to housing or job or education or voting rights. Never saw any woke supremacists enslaving anybody. Come on, Tim Scott. I didn't see any woke supremacists storming the blanking Capitol. Where are the woke supremacists attacking police? Where are the woke supremacists hunting police officers in the halls of the Capitol and beating them with Blue Lives Matter signs with white supremacist insignia on their shirts and carrying white supremacist paraphernalia? Guess who I saw? Guess who police officers were beaten by? Guess who wanted to hang the vice president? White supremacists, Tim Scott! What are you doing? The only black Republican were the woke supremacists carrying the Confederate battle flag in the nation's capital? Tim Scott? Tim, I have to. I know you don't want me to yell, but this is ridiculous. You are gaslighting people. You are giving people misinformation. What are you doing, brother? What are you doing? What are you doing? You're not helping.
Welcome back, guys. Need I really say anything more on that? I really don't. I really don't want to comment on that guy. Guys, listen. You support anyone on the right wing just because they're black? Let me tell you now. These guys will watch you get lynched and they will say it was an accident. They will deny. They will make excuses. Just like the Fox News, just like the Daily Mail, just like the Farages. They're no different. They're racist black people. Guys, we've come to the end of the show. If you like what we present to you guys and the information we give you, please like, share, more importantly, subscribe once you're done watching or while you're watching even. Okay, guys? So I'll see you all on Friday for my very last installment of the week. Clocks go forward on Sunday or Saturday night, should I say, early hours of Sunday. And next weekend's Easter weekend. So we'll only be doing a Monday and Wednesday show next week and not a Friday one or a Monday one. So we'll be taking a little break, a little 4-day break next week, right at the tail end of next week. In the meantime, look after yourselves and I'll see you all soon. Hit subscribe. Take care. Bye-bye.